Your FootyFanatics FC live from NYC. Episode 2, back in the new setup, the new grind. We back here. I got to my left, it's Enrique Alvarez. Y'all see the IG thing pop up with the Twitter.
Make sure I follow that.
A.K.A. Kiko. And then you got your boy to the right, D Ships.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
my
it's
brother.
Good Monday for me.
Yeah.
Good Monday night for me.
D Ships, that little cool things that be coming. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Come on.
Yeah. Ships looks like in a livelier mood than last week. But anyways, first of all, if you're watching this, please comment, comment, and subscribe. My bad about that, but like, comment, and subscribe, please. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Actually, that's fine.
We're almost at 1,000.
Everyone says like, comment, subscribe. Comment,
like, subscribe. Roast me, troll me, come at my head for my takes, cool.
And
but please, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We got big things aguan. That means big things coming. But let's get right into the juice. We had a big weekend this week, huh?
It's crazy.
Beautiful weekend. Yeah, no. Beautiful weekend. Beautiful footy.
For sure.
Except United versus Everton. But beautiful footy for sure. I hate that team,
You know, you get them weekends where like it's just good games. All like Sunday.
No,
all
it
good
was just like a
games.
couple class games. But let's get right into the main important part. Jurgen Klopp last season, of course, versus Pep Guardiola.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take your takes on that.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying?
You want to shout out for me?
I mean, it's the modern day Goliath and whoever you want to call, whoever hero you want to call, because those two are clear. Like, I don't think we've ever seen a rivalry as close. Maybe Sir Alex Jose, but Klopp Pep, it's literally yin and yang. And I mean, the game itself, I was kind of surprised. First half, City had the first 20, 25 minutes, but after that, Liverpool, and they've been doing it ever since, I want to say, Klopp announced that he's leaving at the end of the season. They low-key dominated the game from minute 20 and on, and they should have won. Luis Diaz, they were roasting him most of the game, but he created chances, but he can't finish. But Liverpool, I think this is their year. I think this is their year.
This is it.
I think this is it.
Kiko, what you saying,
Listen,
fam?
I think Liverpool was a Doku decision from potentially winning it. But no, listen.
Think that was a penalty?
Before we get into that, I kind of disagree with your point with Ferguson Jose. I think Ferguson Wenger is more of that rivalry there.
Okay.
In my opinion, these two, Klopp and Guardiola, they're the rivalry of my generation, in the sense of they're the two best managers, I think, from a consistent standpoint that I've seen for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Because Jurgen Klopp, for me, he kind of symbolizes kind of the little engine that could. I mean, think about it.
I
right?
hear
His
you.
Dortmund side and what he did there, and then turning Liverpool into what they are now.
Yeah.
And then you compare it to Guardiola, who, in my opinion, probably has two of the best dynasties I've ever seen, from his Barcelona team from 2008 to 2012, and then what he's done at Manchester City now. Yeah. I think they have two completely different styles, but in terms of their greatness, and when you look at the head-to-head, one doesn't clear the other. What is it?
Klopp with 12, Pep with 11, and 6 draws. So it's even.
It's right. So and Guardiola's even gone on the record saying that he's his biggest rival.
And it goes into, literally, that record plays into the title races that they've had. City beating Liverpool by 1 point on both occasions.
Right.
Centurions. It's only been one occasion where Liverpool went clear, and that was the COVID year. But like you said, that kind of rivalry, I do think Guardiola, Jose in Barca Real, I think that was the most entertaining kind of rivalry. This is the quality of football that we're watching. I think this
Even
is better.
Jose Wenger was a crazy one.
That was crazy. But I think this is in a different way. It's a rivalry, but it's too buddy for me to really call it a rivalry. It's just
a
on
respect
the pitch.
thing.
It's more respect. I think with Guardiola and Jose, it was a different kind of animosity. Same with, like you said, Ferguson and Wenger. They didn't like each other. But it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top this season, because I think this will kind of define how the rivalry ends.
No,
honestly, let me drop y'all my thoughts real quick. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, right, when it comes to that too, we had to see something yesterday, right? And the thing that I saw yesterday was, first half we obviously saw City not dominate but get on the ball, and obviously Poole was missing quite some quality on the pitch.
Right.
With Salah coming in the second half, and also Who else came in the second half from Poole? I'm
I'm
having minutes. Somebody, of course, they did a couple substitutions, but anyways, put a kid named Kwanzaa, I think. Kwanzaa came in. And then top of that, the missing Gravenberg. Shout out to Endo. First of all, everybody flamed Endo, but yesterday he showed class.
To be fair, though, I think the heat was warranted in the beginning. I think me and you spoke off record. They kind of figured his game out. Liverpool put him in a position where he can succeed.
And that's the strength of Klopp.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you got to look at it now. The most important part is how Klopp read the game, comes in, switches the whole narrative, dominates the second half. You're going against Manchester City. Not only, like, look when United play City. We're playing counter-attacking ball, hoping they scrap a couple goals and run. These guys came to knock the ball on the pitch, and it's always been that. It's always been that scenario.
Right.
They're not afraid. You know what? We're going to take y'all toe-to-toe. Let's get money. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's always been Klopp's mentality. Up here, jumping up and down. So I got to give him credit to that. Great way to finish the season. Great way to keep pressure on Pep.
Yeah.
And then that leaves a lot of hopes to other teams in this title. We'll talk about them later. But it just shows you the way he opens up.
Nah, that's a fact.
Because it's a game of chess amongst those two.
That's a fact.
And it's my bad. Go ahead.
Just really quickly on Pep, because I'm sorry, Klopp, because you actually put it perfect. This is a whole different kind of Liverpool team that we're watching. What you just said, there was a couple moves passages of play they had where they made 15 to 20 passes ending off with an attempt on goal. Think about Klopp with Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, Milner, Sadio Mane. It was a different type of game. Like now they still play with the same energy where they sustain attacks, they keep going, they use the crowd, they play with energy, but they actually kind of use triangles.
Right.
Like they play the game at a slower tempo.
But I was
but
gonna say I think a reason for that is their midfield three. Endo, McAllister, Sobotlai. That's three guys that can play.
Let's not.
Not to
What
say.
you saying? What you saying? Go ahead. What you saying, bruv? What you saying, bruv?
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Come on, no, he wants slander. He wants to slander.
It's just like
the United.
Now it's the midfield. Let's not hype the midfield three.
It's not Fernandez.
Now it's the midfield three. It's their midfield three. People just gotta gas it. Like relax.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
see
they're
the
good,
slander?
but they're not. Oh my days, they're class.
They're not Garnacho good.
But you,
They're not
but you know
Garnacho.
what? That's credit to who?
No, absolutely. I'm not taking, but the way he made it seem like it's like the Real Madrid 3 day. No, it's not, bro.
they're not.
That's
Yeah,
what you got.
respect.
One thing I gotta give Klopp, he gives me the vibes of Fergie when Fergie just had those Darren Fletchers, the Darren Gibsons, these type of players, Owen Hargreaves, and he made them into look like world class players. It's that pep talk.
To be fair though, McAllister was a top player before.
No, absolutely.
Sebastian was a top player at Leipzig before.
But a lot of players are top players, but until they go to a team with a new system. Perfect example, McAllister when he came. Look at Caicedo going to Chelsea. Look at Cucurella when he left the system. Obviously, that's a lot. Look at Kai, Timo, all these players that when they came from Germany or whatever, and then it starts to really not be the best self again. Sancho. So as much as I gotta big these guys up, of course, top class players, I respect them. They're definitely in the conversation, but it's to keep them, make them even look better. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, you got your Real Madrid, your United. Your manager is gone for the season, and Guardiola and Klopp are available. Who are you taking for your club? For Real, who are you taking?
For me,
I'm
taking Guardiola.
You taking Guardiola? Who are you taking at United?
I would have to take Guardiola.
Really?
I think he's the greatest coach to ever live.
He's the closest thing to Ferguson in terms of style of play for me, but I hear it.
I think the thing with Guardiola is he has. I think we've spoke about it. Both of them are different, but both of them also are the same in the sense where they elevate their teams. And as you could say before, I mean, because you saw it firsthand, Klopp can take an under 18 team and win a trophy with it. But I think the reason I would personally say Guardiola, I think there's something about Guardiola where he has this ability where he can develop talent. Right. He can take players who were good players. Like when you really look at the City team, guys like Doku, guys like Rodri. Rodri was a guy from Atletico Madrid who I know people that
said Rodri out.
Rodri out. And Guardiola has that ability where he can do that. He can take those players that have the potential and up them, but he also has the potential to coach the elite of the elite. Erling Haaland, Leo Messi, Lewandowski. I just think he's able to do all of it. Where when I look at Klopp's career, other than Salah, has Klopp really managed that's a
That's what I was about
superstar,
to agree
other
with
than
you.
Salah?
Nouri Shaheen.
But you know what I'm saying? He could do
But
Lewandowski, Royce.
you know
Because
what?
that's what I'm
Lewandowski,
saying.
Royce.
Guardiola.
No, but they weren't stars though. He made them stars. Who's he taking as a star? Who's been their biggest signing? Allison and Van Dijk. They're both
And they
Southampton.
weren't stars,
yeah.
really. So I'm like, that's the only reason why I would choose Pep. I think Pep can walk into a locker room and Cristiano Ronaldo will listen. Benzema will listen.
I mean, I
Modric
agree.
will listen.
Trophies talk. That's it.
And that's what I'm saying. Not that they wouldn't listen to Klopp, but I think Guardiola now has this aura about him where
Can't lose.
So piggybacking on that, because I definitely agree. But now thoughts on Kevin De Bruyne getting subbed off in the 60th, and obviously that's a world class player, and obviously that's a big. You imagine your title charge, and you're getting subbed off in the 60th as arguably the best player on the squad.
but-
so what's your thought on that? When him throwing a tantrum, and this is not the first time we've seen KDB throw a tantrum.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
So what you think now when controlling that? ego?
I think honestly, if you're a Manchester City fan, which I'm not, I think you love that because one, I think that shows De Bruyne's competitiveness, his eagerness to be on the pitch, but I think it shows Guardiola's cut from a different cloth, and he can look at De Bruyne, who in my opinion is the best midfielder in the world, and be like, "Yo, it's not working. I have to get this result."
Kovacic.
But let's
But
be
it's Kovacic. Like, he's not a waste man coming off the bench. Like,
But let's be real. In the game itself, KDB was having a bad game.
Holland, even like
KDB, KDB was having he was completely right to take him
bro,
out.
but you see what I mean? Like that assist, I don't think anybody could do. Great working from the coaching staff, obviously, with the pick and
play.
roll, with the hockey.
Nah, hold up. Trent did that. Remember?
But that curve ball just come in and look like it went out. And, bro, that's class. But
Yeah,
that's really what I wanted to get takes. But
I
you
hear
could
it.
go ahead.
I hear
Anything
it.
else on these boys? On these two bad boys?
No, I mean, I was gonna ask, what do you think is their biggest flaw? Just real quick, what do you think is their biggest flaw as a manager?
Guardiola, I think easily is his overthinking. I think he should have 4 Champions Leagues. Chelsea should not have won 2021, but that's beside the point.
Champions of Europe. You'll never see.
I just don't get why Rodri didn't play that final, but
Yeah, I hear it. I mean, Klopp's biggest flaw for me, he's too loyal. He kept players like Henderson, Milner, Matip, Lovren. He kept them around way too long, and we saw it last season where they had that huge drop off. But it's their strength and it's their weakness.
Yeah.
Pep's overthinking is his greatest strength, but his greatest weakness. Same with Klopp.
I just think, their biggest fault, of course, Pep overthinking, and then it comes to obviously what's his name, Klopp just really I would say spending. He didn't get the ability to spend just as much.
I hear you. That's
After
true.
time, the bag started coming in, but
That's true.
it's not like what Pep had. But Pep assembles Avengers, brother. So I gotta definitely give him
But
that.
we can't talk. I got Punch. You got Den Haag. So we move, man. We move.
Anyways, back to EPL title race. Obviously, this makes a big jump into the title race because you know who's sitting in first.
They were hyped.
VTAX sitting in first is Arsenal. They're a point off. They're a point off a Pool and I think Pool and City, right? They're a point up.
Yeah.
Well, speak to me, bro. They've been clapping teams. I ain't gonna hold you.
listen, and I want to bring back something that I got heat for years ago, and it was my comment on Declan Rice. And I'm just gonna say, when this man got signed,
Don't do that, Kiko.
no. Listen, I'm not listening.
Kiko, give that up real quick.
That's another topic for another day. But all I'm saying is, I'm not saying Declan Rice is single-handedly leading them to first place. But yo, this dude was a massive pillar that Arsenal needed for that spine. Him, Saliba, and then you got Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus and those guys. Kai Havertz, like Arsenal right now, realistically could win this. And listen, you have the 2 juggernauts right there with them. But I'm like, yo, the biggest winners of the weekend was Arsenal. And I think they now, with a guy like Declan Rice in the engine room, and I think the experience off of last season with how close that title race was, I think that experience is going to help them this season. Yo, Arsenal can do it, bro. They can do it.
The amount of times this season I was hate watching Arsenal, bro. And now, like, it really hit me this weekend. I was like, yo, no funny. They're mad. They're good. They're a good team.
Yeah.
Like, I saw them. They slapped up Sheffield a couple weeks ago. They slapped up Newcastle. But
It's Sheffield, bro.
that's what I'm saying. It was Sheffield, so I'm not taking it
bro?
serious.
Stop that, bro.
Brentford is a tough team. Like, they're one of them annoying teams. You see them on the schedule, and it was 1-1. And I'm like, if they get this second goal, I really think that makes them contenders.
King Kai.
Yeah, like when you're making
Coming alive.
Nah, but you know Kai does this. He has this spell of games where he scored goals. But
Now it's Kai does this.
yeah,
Give it up,
listen,
kid.
we see he scored a Champions League winning goal. He does what he does, but
Give it up, bro.
the credit has to go to.
He got more
Arteta.
goals than the Chelsea team, right?
Wait, so Cole Palmer don't exist now?
How much
right?
Cole Palmer got?
It's more than Havertz.
Kai got what? Kai got 8?
They're not even the same debate
Come
right
on,
now.
man.
No, of course. But I'm just
listen,
saying.
we
Kai's
spoke about it
balling.
last week.
Cole is cold.
Cole is cold.
Yeah,
Cole is
Cole is
bro.
cold. You know what my thing is though, bro? Declan Rice hype. Nah, I gotta give it to Declan. Nah, I gotta give it. I give it to Declan. But you gotta also give players like Jorginho. You gotta give players like Ben White.
Yes.
Because Ben White really been
Who's
cooking back there.
underperforming for that team right now?
You gotta give the Saliba talk. Who else up top? Like out of nowhere, Saka, Martinelli, and all these men started cooking. So like, it's not just one player. It's a whole lot of players that been definitely cooking. And it's just to me like out of nowhere.
But let me ask you this: if they were to give out the player of the season for Arsenal right now, who would you give it to?
Nah, I don't even know.
If you're an Arsenal fan,
I mean,
who would you give it to?
Probably Saliba. Saliba is definitely in the running.
You know what? I think Gabriel has a shout. He's going way too underrated this season. He's been like a main. I think he has like. I think I checked. He has about 4 goals this season from set pieces. He's scoring goals. They're keeping clean sheets, like from back to front, and that's when you know you have a serious title contending team where everyone is performing.
Yeah.
I can't look at one player and say you're a passenger. Everyone is up to par.
Yeah.
Ben White, like I was one. Don't even compare him to Reece James. Now, I can't.
But I think that has a lot to do with Arteta.
Yeah.
Arteta's just kept the standard so high that I'm like he's in the running for one of the best managers in Europe, clearly. So it's going to be – I don't think we've seen a title race like this in years, right?
No. 3 horse? No.
3 horses? Nah. So
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But we know a lot of teams end up bottling it. So like, can they manage to survive?
Who do you see bottling it out of these 3?
I don't know.
The thing is, when you look at the 3 of them,
it's hard. They're all in form.
And you know what's crazy? When you look at all 3 teams, there's a storyline. City, 4 in a row. Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp swan song. And then Arsenal, can Arteta finally get them over the line? Yeah. So I'm like, it really just depends on which story you're biting. For me, nothing beats Klopp. If he can end it with the Premier League, kind of like Fergie did in 2013, bro. But then
That's
it's
a
like,
flex.
if Arsenal does it, and for Arteta to do it going up against those 2 coaches,
as the young manager and the up and coming, this is only his second year, 2.5 years managing.
Nah, I want to say 3.5.
Starting 19?
Yeah,
you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, about 3.5. So imagine toppling Pep and Klopp. Not even just one. You topple both.
Yeah,
bro. Nah, that's respect. That's respect.
Because the last manager to win it while they were coaching was
Conte.
Yeah.
And what club was that for? Okay, but no.
So
where we
long
going
ago.
here?
Mandems really living off of that. Anyway,
we move.
Yeah, move. Let's talk about now. Speaking,
We
he clearly
move.
exciting and he's having nostalgia.
We move.
He having a whole lot of nostalgia. Tell us about today, buddy.
Good
Good job. Beating the most out of form team in the league. Great
what
job.
Do you mean? The
Great
richest
job.
club in the Come on.
Now it's the riches.
Now it's the riches. Yeah,
They
you sound
are.
like bro.
FFP.
I got some heat for them Newcastle guys, but you go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, listen. 3-2. What does it really mean for Chelsea? Not too much. I mean, we're not too far off 7th place for Europa League. That's what the aim is. And maybe an FA Cup. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, Newcastle, like, I'm watching them today, and compared to last season, they don't look the same. Something's off. And to be fair, they've had hella injuries, but something's not clicking. I think they look a little stale. They look tired. I don't know if Eddie Howe has it in him anymore, because we were really bigging him up. Remember, not last season before, when he took over from 20th to where they went. Champions League, but now it just looks like they're ready for something else. They need either a new manager or some new life into the team, but that's more money.
So let me, before you come in, Omar, I'm going to say my thoughts. So here's the 2 things I think is killing Newcastle right now. 1, injuries.
Yeah.
2, I think the whole Ashworth thing is
derailed it
a little bit. I just think when you have the guy that assembled the squad, going to a competitor, people will say, no, well, the players are the players and the manager is the manager, and like they have to get on with the game. I'm like, nah, distractions are distractions. And I think I'm wondering if that's kind of trickling down to the team because Newcastle also played Champions League this season. The squad wasn't nearly as big enough. And not only Newcastle, we're seeing that with Brighton. You saw what De Zerbi said. De Zerbi was like, yo, we're playing Europa League ball, and the squad's way too thin. And I think Newcastle's going through the same thing. Tonali hasn't played this season. So I'm thinking that's what's killing Newcastle. I think the project is fine, but they're still a season or two away from realistically.
But my thing is, what is, like, we're outsiders, so what are we expecting of Newcastle, though? Like,
top four. Well, they made the champions top four.
Top four? Because my thing, when I look at that squad, is that a top four squad? I don't know. I mean, they signed some decent players. They signed the one who stands out for me that is a top four player is Isak. That's the one that's the standout. Botman, good player. Harvey Barnes, good player.
The Chelsea bias is crazy.
No, it's true. Like Livermento he's another one. I rate
Botman's a good player, but we rate Badiashile, we rate Disasi, we rate these guys. Botman's got caps.
Botman's he's a good player, but is he a top four? Is he a consistently? Do you see him as a top four defender? Is he on the Gabriel's level? Is he on Saliba's level?
Last season we were screaming that, so let's not change. Like,
but that's one. That's what I mean.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Consistently. The thing is, right, with when it comes to the Newcastle project, it has to be the injuries because it's their star players who are injured. So now they're going back to, like, let's fill in the gap. Granted, it's not an excuse. A lot of teams are injured. But when you have the Tonali ban came out of nowhere, right? We could all agree to that. The Tonali ban cooked the whole situation because that was a CDM they was relying on. Yeah. Champions League finishing the bottom of the group, but obviously it was the group of death. Now, on top of that, they're forming the league. Mm-hmm. That's the catch there. But where's your Almirons? It's just like they don't. It's like the wheel needs grease, but they still put on a show against these men. Yep. Had them on the ropes to the last minute. So
Jesse played Mudryk goal here. Play Mudryk goal right.
Played Mudryk
here's
goal.
My thing though, like, and this is why there is a top four, top six bias because I'm like, people want to talk about you saying Isak's the only one that can play in the top four, but you tell me. Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton. That's not at least on par with Caicedo, Enzo, and Conor Gallagher.
Man said Joelinton's a good player. Yo, man said Joelinton.
Joelinton is him.
Good player. He's a good player. Good player. Bruno Guimaraes, yes. Actually, he's top.
Tonali,
top.
So those two are top. So
Joelinton not better than Cal.
Let's go to the team. Who's you tell me? Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, Sean Longstaff. Listen, I'm not talking about this. Ain't about Chelsea. This ain't about Yes. But I'm just saying, and I do think they do need to freshen up the squad. But I think Eddie Howe he's at that crossroads. I think I texted you, bro. It's at that moment where City were with Mark Hughes and they got Mancini. Right. They just need maybe that manager to just take them to the next level in terms of tactically. Where they can really blow teams off the park because I think they're relying on energy and athleticism too much. Yeah. They need something now where they can really pop teams off and score goals.
Teams are starting to bite on
it. Because as long as you match Newcastle athletically, you have a chance. But it's when you don't match that energy, they'll just rip you to shreds.
That's a good point because when you look at the players, Livermento, Almiron,
athletic monsters, bro.
Gordon, so pace.
Athletic beasts. Look at that back line, 6'4", strong. Midfield, athletic, quick. What do you got? Who's Longstaff. Joe Willock, Longstaff, Livermento. They're all athletic. So if you can match that and you can play, you can beat Newcastle. It's when you don't, that's when they'll just blow you off the park. But I don't know. Money's not going to save them, though, because the Premier League is getting way too strict with spending money. So that's not enough.
Nah, but they got that whole loan deal where they could pick players back from Saudi. So that could also work in there.
You know who fumbled it? Bowley. Thanks a lot.
Now it's Bowley.
Bowley 8-year contract. But yo, let's get into more. Y'all seen these players switching allegiance? I heard Brahim might be going to Morocco.
Bro, I love that. I love that.
Players going back to their roots is big.
Yeah, that's good.
Thoughts on that?
That's good. I mean, Jamaica, I'm seeing it all over the place.
Would you play for Jamaica or USA?
Right now? Jamaica, I'm not gonna lie.
What about you?
I'm Guatemala, so I'm going obviously the US.
You did. Beep.
I'm trying to win major tournaments, Brody. Love my people, man. Love my people, but
you know what you was doing with that question. You know you were doing that question.
Come on, man.
You see that? We got fraudulent behavior.
I know he not talking though. Cause USA or Egypt right now. Yeah.
Especially after that AFCON.
Because once Mo is done,
But
I would think about both teams. I'll think about both projects
So
to represent, to be an Arab, an African, a North African Arab to play for a U.S. team and represent that. That is also big.
Yeah.
Especially with how everything is going on nowadays. But also to be an Arab American to play for Egypt and represent that. That's still a flex. So situation, obviously, if I'm put in the circumstances, something I would have to put too much deep thoughts. But granted, both countries gave me a great lifestyle.
Right.
At the end of the day, I was born in the U.S., left when I was 8, lived in Egypt for a whole 8 years, and I got the benefits of both worlds. So respect and shout out to both countries, of course, and the opportunities that I got. But this is something like, it's the Egypt national team looks like it's calling though.
So I want to kind of start off the Brahim topic. So for me, I think it was a great decision, and a big reason for that is we saw what Morocco did in 2022 Qatar, right? Putting Africa on the map, great, wonderful story. I think the fact that I don't think Brahim would have chose Morocco if Morocco didn't promise him to give him the platform he needs to star. Yeah. And what I'm trying to say is, I think Morocco essentially pitched him, you will be our Mohamed Salah. You know, you will be our Riyad Mahrez, and we're going to give you the keys. Because when you look at the Morocco squad, other than Ziyech, who's in the abyss.
He's their best player.
Brahim Diaz is arguably the best player other than Hakimi. So, like, I think it's a no-brainer. And then, like, I've told you this before. Respectfully, humbly, like, you know, I'm in no way trying to bash pro players. But when I look at that Spain setup, and I'm seeing guys like Gavi, and he's injured. You know, Pedri, injured. But when I'm seeing the Ferran Torres, the Ansu Fatis, and Joselu, and no disrespect to Yamal, because he's a wonder kid, I'm like, there is something. Why Brahim couldn't get a proper sniff in that squad is wild to me. Like, I don't know if there's a Real bias because all those players I just named played for Barcelona, but the fact that Brahim couldn't get constant game time there was wild to me because he's got 8 goals and 4 assists off the bench.
I think it's where he played too. Last season he was at Milan. I think where you play, he wasn't a big player for Milan last season. This season he's really taken a leap, so he's gonna naturally get more spotlight on him. He's a good player, but is he head and shoulders over the guys you said? This season he's showing it, but when they were doing the call-ups last season, I don't think he was.
No, I think
he's a good player, but he didn't show it. This season he's really like opened my eyes. Like, Brahim has talent, and we knew at City he had some kind of he had some plaudits, but this season is where he's really taking that leap, and I think he's using that leverage now. I don't know when the next international call-up is. It's March, and he's got the Euros this summer. Yeah. He could have made a name for himself in the Euros, but going forward, I think Morocco's the best move for him because, bro, playing for Morocco in the African Cup of Nations, the love you're going to get from the Moroccan people, choosing them, that's different class.
And also, it's been a big year for him because also got to understand, I think this season also signed a new contract. And then on top of that, he switched from Nike to Adidas. Adidas kind of gave him a bag. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm him, and we've had this talk numerous times about AFCON and how it's growing, and this past AFCON tournament is one for the books. I'm like, yo, if you're Brahim Diaz, you have the potential platform to, and I'll say this, and I say this respectfully, would you rather be a regular squad player for Spain, or would you rather be one of the household names in Africa, not just Morocco, African football?
Nah, of course.
I don't think it's a debate.
Of course.
It's one of those things, but he's Spanish though. That's gonna be the argument.
That's what
he was Spanish though. I mean, but he plays what? Right mid.
He's a right winger, cuts inside normally.
So Ziyech is on the way out.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up.
So he has to fill. He has to definitely fill those boots. And Morocco is a big flex right now, especially after that last World Cup run. Let's be honest, AFCON put on. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do videos for that, but I would have been going crazy. AFCON put on a great show, from refereeing to everything. Shout out to Ivory Coast for that tournament. So you've seen the levels that they could bring. But to me, it's just these players actually choosing they roots is big. There's a lot of players choosing allegiance, but at the end of the day, he was born Spanish. From a Moroccan father, yes, but he was born Spanish and grew up in the Spanish ranks. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. Now, the biggest catch is forget the fact that which allegiance he chooses. I honestly think he's one of the best players. He could be one of the best players on that Spain team. That Real Madrid squad is, especially that midfield and that top three, is no joke. For you to come in and put numbers on the board off the bench, it tells me a lot.
Right.
So, like, the kid's a baller.
Nah, he's nice.
So, there's a lot going on. And like you said, maybe that's some Huffington going.
Yeah.
How old is he now, though?
He's like 23, 24.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time. If you're going to make a move to really cement your name on the world game, it has to be now. Because had he went to the Euros and he's just been been in the squad, in and out from, like you said, Lamine Yamal and all that, it wouldn't do nothing for him. So,
yeah.
Shout out to him.
No, shout out to him for sure. But, like, that's like I said, other players are taking that route. Yeah. But we also, speaking of allegiance and AFCONs and stuff, it's the holy month of Ramadan.
Mubarak, man.
It's the holy month of Ramadan. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters fasting on this holy month. Palestino FC, that's a fact. You know, great club right there.
We'll cop one. Perplex FC.
Perplex. I don't even know they have it. All proceeds go to
Sold
Palestine.
out.
To the people in need of Gaza. But for real, shout out to my brothers and sisters. Really, you know, like fasting this month. It's a big month to us Muslims. If y'all don't know, Ramadan to us is the book where the Holy Quran was revealed. So we take it as a fast to purify ourselves from previous sins and just try to become the best person. So anything, it's not only about food or water. It's about being a good person, treating your neighbor properly, you know, refraining from sins that you do. So it's a great month, and to us, we celebrate it. But there's a lot of Muslim players that we know that celebrate, so I got to give them credit.
Bro.
For them to be.
Bro.
I seen players play Champions League finals. Kareem Benzema's an example.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's
you got any players you want to give a shout?
Man, I mean, obviously from Chelsea, Tony Rudiger, big one. I remember, when did we play? We played Madrid, I want to say, 2 years ago. And you could see on the side, like, but the thing is, the reason I respect it so much, you can't tell, especially during that holy month where they're fasting, not eating, not drinking, and you can't tell the level of performance is still high. They're still giving everything, but I mean, we're gonna talk about what our favorite Muslim players in the game.
I mean, before you say,
time?
I feel like it's only right that I kind of, as a Madrid fan, and I'm wearing the jersey, the boy from Lyon. It's also perplex, catch them out. But I think Kareem Benzema,
bro.
2021-2022 season, Ballon d'Or winner. Nothing much more to say. Algerian roots. Now he's playing in Saudi. Listen, for me, one of the greatest players to ever play, and I think he's actually a great symbol for the Arab world. You know, to kind of be on that platform, and especially when you see players of like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi dominate for years. And I know he kind of got it on the tail end, but it's still massive to see kind of an Arab hold that Ballon d'Or.
No, it's a lot. Mohamed Salah, like, it's Mohamed Salah being nominated. Sadio Mane, there's a lot of players that growing up, you know, represented the likes of, like, look at Salah when he celebrates, he, you know, sits and bows and performs the sajda, what we call is, you know, when we get down and put our forehead on the ground. So a lot of players really take that to heart. Look at the celebrations, like, it's big. This is what we represent. And it's a lot of players. Ozil, when he was coming in the World Cup, Paul Pogba, Mina Revert, Kurt Zuma, and all them men going to Saudi Arabia. Like, it's big, you know. And then you got, what's his name? Jack Grealish is screaming, Alhamdulillah. It's influence, it's culture influence. And I guess people are starting to see it, like, out of respect. Like, I respect what these people are doing, you know. And
even on the club side, I don't know if you guys saw today, I think it was Arsenal, El Neni. They introduced a prayer room in the training ground. Chelsea, they're offering iftar at Stamford Bridge for people to come and break their fast. I'm just hoping the clubs are doing it in good faith, and it's not like a publicity thing. So it's good to see. Long may it continue. So
no, that's so they what was the get more into
so Stamford Bridge?
The Nini talk. I like that.
Yeah, so they introduced a prayer room at Arsenal's training ground. He tweeted it out today. So that's good. I'm pretty sure Arsenal have a few Muslim players. They got El Neni. I want to say actually
Partey?
Who's that?
Partey.
Yeah, so they have a few. So it's good.
That's what's up. That's good.
That's
what's up. Anything else y'all want to see that this weekend caught your eye?
Oh,
because there was a couple little, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, Inter Milan, 17 points clear. Top of the Serie A.
I said it last episode, and that's what I wanted to get into.
I peeped the tape. I'm like, wait, hold on. These men are and then I watched them against Atleti, first leg champion. They blew them off the pitch. Destroyed them. So shout out Inter. Lautaro too. He was getting corn after the World Cup a couple of years ago, doing his thing.
So what stood out for me for this weekend?
Some bullshit. Some bullshit.
Arda Güler.
Finally, he gets a game. Finally, he gets a game.
Yo, all I gotta say, he's coming. He's coming. Ancelotti said
matter of fact,
patience.
Say it.
No.
Say what you said. Hold on. Say what you said, please, sir.
Arda Güler. Remember the name? Ancelotti said it. Patience. The next Ozil coming.
See, now he's using Ancelotti.
You
say what you is that what you want to say, or is that what Ancelotti said? He trying to use Ancelotti as a little.
Listen, that's all I want to say. You asked me what was my standout for the weekend.
This man, hold on. This man really said the next Ozil coming, bro. Because what, he scored a last minute screamer. Really?
What's the similarities you see in that game though between him and Ozil?
You know what? No, he's right. Arda Güler is more like Hannibal, but.
Yo,
now
it's trolling. It's trolling.
No, listen. All jokes aside, the kid is super talented. You know what's funny? Over the summer, he was linked with a move with Barca, and honestly, if he had actually went to Barca, we would probably be seeing a lot more of him. He's playing for a team that's really hard to break into the 11, but the kid has talent.
He's 15.
He's not. He's what, 17, 18 years old?
Yeah, 16,
Dude,
like
the players vouch for him. Tchouameni, Rudiger, Camavinga, they all vouch for this kid. The kid is talented, and I think Ancelotti has some. You know what he reminds me a lot of? I remember 2014, 2015 when Ancelotti had Odegaard, and Odegaard came very young. And I think with Güler, it's just be patient. You have something here. The kid is gifted, man. Yeah. The kid is gifted. We just don't see a lot of them.
You got to protect talents like that.
Exactly.
You can't
once those kids get burnt out, you might lose the kid. To be honest.
Look at Pedri.
Like Pedri's on that way
down. People came at Guardiola for the way he handled Foden. He handled him perfectly. Nah, just holding the reins, let him develop. Yeah. Be around top players. He's in the same situation.
Foden is shining right now.
Shining. And I honestly think at the same ages, they're probably at the same talent levels. Foden when he was 16, 17, and Güler now, there's not too much of a difference. So you manage him correctly, you might have a player who's just as good, if not better.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
No, that's facts, but I just think it's too quick. Too quick for the kid. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know last minute screeper, whoop-de-doo. Yeah. But I mean, I shouldn't be talking about Garnacho did that, and it was get his jersey signed. Get his jersey signed. Putting it over there. But listen, man, thank you for tuning in to FootyFanatics FC. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. We'll slowly get back into the groove of things. So be patient. The fun is coming. The juice is coming. We really about to be out here. Anything you got to say, D ships.
Yo, just make sure, like you said, let us know in the comments what you thought about today. Who's your manager? Klopp, Pep? Who's the greatest of the two? Newcastle, what's going on with them? Let us know in the comments, please. We need that.
Kiko, something to the fans. They out here.
Supporters.
You know what I'm saying? They see you in the light. They see you in the light, brother. I know you.
Thank you for the support. Continue supporting us, and big things are coming.
Big things are going.
There you go. All right, man. Footy out. Catch you next week.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak again.